was the price of your crown?
Die! I want you to die.
Soon enough, I'll be dead. And you'll be king.
I don't want anything from you. You're not a man. You're not my father.
You are my son, and you have always known my mind.
You deceived me.
You let yourself be deceived. But in your heart, you always knew what had to happen here. At last, you know what it means to hate. Now you're ready to be a king.
My hate will die with you.
Just like a G, you know? Some talk was qualified. Before they do it. I wake up and go give me some new money. You know I'm living like a G. These little niggas ain't gonna take nothing from me. You know we do it like a G. That's why they got I fuck on anyone. Just like a gangster, just like a G.
Hey, just like a G. Welcome to the G Chit podcast. I'm your host, G Chili, Galvarino himself. It's been a good day, been a good week. It's been a while since I dropped a video. I've been recording videos. I don't drop everything I record. I make a video and I decide if I put it out or not. But I'm going to put this one out. Some of the videos I've been making, keep it a bean. I just be trying to practice with the software, practice with everything. Trying to get my system down pat, trying to get my formula tight. I could be a perfectionist in some things, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I saw some things that made me want to jump online and share my opinion, my unpopular opinion at what I heard about this, a discussion between these two sisters. And then also I wanted to talk about tit for tat. We all heard tit for tat before. And I want the importance of tit for tat. Yeah, you got to have a little bit of tit for someone else's tat. If you don't, you might get rat-a-tat-tatted a lot if you can't push them back with some tits. And I'm going to show you who just found out in a real way about tit for tat. And we're pivoting to try to make some move that allows us to rat-a-tat-tat as much as we want. Will it work? I don't know. Time to tell. But I'm not going to kill too much time talking about what we're getting into. I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. And the first thing I want to talk about is these two sisters that was having a discussion. Let me play the video and let's get right to it.
It's more important, the fact that Martin Luther King is the man that fought for freedom, or the fact that he was cheating on his wife?
Jesus. I'm going to give you this example. He's a great father. He's a great businessman. He's a great CEO. He's an entrepreneur. He's such a boss. He's a boss. Look at that man. He's a boss.
Okay.
He's a great father. Look at him, that strong black man.
Look at him being at his kid's game.
But you're cheating on your wife. You're not a good husband. But he's great in all these other aspects. How are you a great leader, a great CEO, a great black man? You're not great. You're not great. God, you're not. That is triggering.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm a good dad. You're not a good dad because you don't respect me. How the fuck you showing these kids you a good father and you don't respect their mother? You're not a great dad, my nigga. You're an okay human.
Someone being a good person to you means they're a good person to you. Someone being a good person to everyone means that they're a good person.
I couldn't hear what the brother in blue said, but I know he was saying what I was thinking. Like, yeah, I'm done with this shit. When I saw this, I had to make a post and I said, I'm fucking sick of this online dick policing. Like, I'm just sick of the dick policing. It's like we come up at MLK. Like in this day and in 2025 with everything that's going on in the world, I don't know if this video is recent, like if it was done this week or this weekend, but even if it was done last year, like or a couple months ago, like I saw it today, and I was like, why are we out here talking about MLK, about whether or not he had infidelity? And then to pose the question as, is he a great man? And then to say you're not a great man because he cheated on his wife. The man who, because he gave his life, is the reason that you two sisters were able to get educated in the way you chose. That's why you're able to sit on that platform and communicate freely the way you choose to. The reason that you have any type of semblance of equal rights in this country, to then try to dig up dirt on someone that you don't know, you never met, but who gave his life, got stabbed, got shot. Why do we always tear ours down? Like, we tear ours down, and what drives me nuts is you have this right now in the White House.
With great emotion. She actually indicated that she loved it. Okay? She loved it until commercial break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be raped. Didn't she say that?
Sir, I just want to confirm. It's your testimony that E. Jean Carroll said that she loved being sexually assaulted by you?
Well, based on her interview with Anderson Cooper, I believe that's what.
A man, 34 felonies, that man, president. I'm not saying we got to have the morality of Trump, or that we got to have the morality of the people who support Trump. I'm just saying we're the only people that I can see that do this. Like, there's no reason to go for MLK. If somebody says, was he a great man? Yeah, simple. If we're tearing down MLK, there's no hope for nobody. And don't tell me about the I'm not even going to disparage anybody. I'm not going to do it. Let me bring it back. I'm not going to I'm not going to do it. I'm going to say what I said. If we are tearing down MLK for having an indiscretion, potentially, then there's no hope for anybody. I don't care if he had indiscretions. I said, if you're supposed to be lining it up for him, if that's what he wants. Okay, that's how I feel. That's how G Chili feel. If that's what he wanted, it should have been on a platter for him. And the way I think life should be, I think that his wife should be okay with that. That's what I think. Now, you may not think that. Some of you have entered into covenants, Some people like to go into adultery and stuff like that. And I say, okay, well, what is adultery? What is adultery? And they say, it's when married men or married women have sex with somebody outside the marriage. And I said, who said that? And they say, God said that. I said, well, God said that? Who's God told it to? I said, the 10 Commandments. I said, oh, yeah. God did put it in the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not commit adultery. But what did he say adultery was? What did he say adultery was? Now I know you got to go all the way back. I'm not a Bible person. I'm not a religious person. But I read person. Okay? So you got to go back and you go to, what? You go back to the Old Testament. Now, some people say, I don't use the Old Testament. I know you use the New Testament. I get it. I'll get there. But what does it say? An adulterer was a man who had an illicit intercourse with a married or a betrothed woman. And that woman was an adulteress. Intercourse between a married man and an unmarried woman is fornication. So when God, if you believe in God, I'm going to use the God example for right now. When God in the story created men and gave them commandments, even God knew that these niggas was going to be smashing on some hoes, taking them to Pound Town, okay? So adultery at that time was women who were married getting pound caked. It was never men doing the pound caking. So then you say, oh, well, when Jesus gave his life, okay. Yeah. When Jesus gave his life, they did mention about married people in the New Testament. They changed the terminology in the New Testament when it was transcribed from the Old Testament. So if you are a person, and I guess you could say Dr. Martin Luther King, he's a reverend. You got to say, okay, I'm presuming he follows the New Testament. So you want to hold him to his religious views? Sure, he messed up on his religious views. Well, how you going to tear him down 57 years after he got popped in the, got taken out this world too soon? So my thing be, it's like monogamy is used as a cudgel. So monogamy is used as a cudgel. It's used as a cudgel. It's not like something like, okay, we're striving for monogamy for the values that we hold together. It's used as a cudgel to bash and shame people now. And there's, throughout the history of this planet, there's monogamy is just not a normal way of being. Even though people strive to be monogamous for different reasons in different societies, every society at one time or another wasn't monogamous. Monogamy has started to become more enforced in certain parts of the world because they wanted to ensure that there were enough women for each man. But if the numbers of women ever got to the point where there's just an overabundance of women, monogamy might be removed even in the societies we live in when we're bashing people in. So what a lot of societies understood was that if you had 100 men and only 20 of them were in sexual relations with women, because and 80 weren't, because the other 20 had the other 100 women, then those 80 become violent. So that was one purpose of monogamy. Like, yo, we don't want 80 killers out here. We don't want 80 killers mad at the 20 that's bagging them all. That was one part of it. Another part of it, when they went to this form, was it was a construct for expansion. So, for instance, when I'm not going to get into all of that, we can get into that another day. So the point is, you got these people who they come out and they sit on a platform and they talk about MLK because he allegedly did something on the outside of his marriage. That's between him and his wife. How does that make him not a great man to you? Like, how are you mad? How are you secondhand angry? Like, how could you be mad about anything I do that impacts my house? You're mad? The people in my house can be mad. You mind your business. I don't care if my neighbor was at a brothel every night, raw dicking. I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to get visibly worked up and start. Hey, look. Hey, you want to go waste your money? You want to go catch something? It's not my house. You don't come You know, yo, that's between you and your wife, bro. That's between you and your wife. Like this online policing, people have gotten so comfortable with telling a man what he should be, what he should do. It's like I was saying to my wife, I said, no one is like people like me as a man. I don't go out my way to tell women how they should be. I don't go out and say, this is how you need to be, this is how you need to dress, this is how you need to wear, this is how you need to look, this is how you need to present, this is what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because of this, and that. Look at the Bible, bitch. Pull out the Quran, ho. I don't do that. Do what you want to do. Be who you are. Be how you are. Be whatever you are. Be that. I don't go. I don't like when people go online and do the gender war fighting. I don't like when people do the constant relationship bickering about how much you do, who 50-50. 100. How about that? How about we do 100? Everybody put in whatever they got. Regardless, how about we do that? So the bottom line is, it's the audacity, it's the audacity to sit there and you didn't bring up like some actor or some entertainer. You brought up Martin Luther King. That was who you kicked it off with, Martin Luther King. Now, I don't know what happened on this show. I am going off the snippet I was fed from the video that I played. But still, that snippet shouldn't have been done. If other people from other communities want to tear our people down, we could ignore them. But we shouldn't have to keep ignoring our own people for their constant tearing down of, like, bro died. Like, bro got popped on a balcony so that you're able to do just about everything you've done in your life. Most of it would have been unattainable if not for that man and his indiscretion. If he liked to rub his face between titties before he go to sleep, and you know he on the road 200 nights a month, a year, you should have had titties waiting for him in the hotel room. You should have had titties waiting for him at the hotel. Simple. It's simple. He's on a bigger mission. He's on a bigger mission. He's sacrificing his life for the cause. Can he rub his face in some titties? Can he at least enjoy himself after he finishes getting spit on all day? Can he get that? Nah, he can't get that, huh? Because the Bible says something. Somebody translated it from the original, and then they gave it to you, and they said, "See what it said, dear." Trust me, nigga. Trust me. I wouldn't lie to you. That's what King James did. Trust me, nigga. Trust me. Why would I lie to you? Why would I lie? That's what King James said to you, dumb niggas. Why would I lie? Trust me. I read the other one. What's the other one? Nah, you can't get that. Why can't I get it? Why can't I get the one you translated this from? Come on, you don't trust me, my nigga? You're looking suspicious, G. You're looking suspicious. I'll end it with this. I personally think you're a dummy if you're in a bad situation and you don't find a way to make it a little bit better. Like, you're just gonna sit like people have made it cool to just suffer. Like, yo, just deal with it, nigga. Just deal with it. All right, I'll deal with it, but I'm gonna also try to fix it. I'm gonna try to improve it any way I can. Now, how you feel about how I improve it, that's for you on the feeling side. If you don't want me to have to improve it in my way, keep the situation the way I want it. That's the way I think it should be. What do you mean? If I invite you over if I invite people over if I enter into a ring, let's say it like this. It would be like this. You enter into an agreement that you're going to do dinner parties on Sundays. And then people sign up for the dinner parties and they pay their membership fees. And then the meals are set out for the different every Sundays, and everybody's going to come over and they're going to get their plate. They're going to be good for the night. They're not going to have to cook on Sundays. Right? It's going according to plan. It's going according to plan. Everybody comes, they get their plate on Sundays. The meals are done, the ingredients have been picked up, all of that. Everything's going smooth. It's going smooth. If you're one of the people who enter into that agreement and you come and you get your plate, but now your appetite has changed. Let's say your appetite has grown, but I don't have the space in my arrangement to feed you more. What those sisters would say to that person is that you should then get on a diet to regain your past form, regain your past appetite. Something has become wrong with you. Why are you hungrier? Forget the fact that you've changed, you've grown, you might have gained, or you just might be hungry. You might be in a hungry phase. They say, so in that situation, you would go get your plate, and on the way out, you might grab a snack. Or on the way in, you might grab a snack. When you flip that into what they're talking about, they're saying that you grabbing that snack makes you lesser than of a person in the eyes of the world because the arrangement was the arrangement. You can still be keeping up with the arrangement. You can still send all your memberships in. You can still do everything you're obligated to do as a part of that arrangement. But adding is the issue. And the reason that adding is the issue is the selfishness of it. It's the selfishness of it's the possessiveness. Because the anger that I saw in that video is coming from the hurt of someone not being able to feel like they was enough for somebody. And sometimes you're just not enough for somebody. And I don't get why people can't just accept that. Like, yo, bro, like if I wasn't enough for a person, I would be like, hey, listen, I'm not enough. Like, it would like if somebody like people. I was saying this to my wife. I was like, if a woman cheats on a man, the first thing everyone says, he must not have been doing something right. He must have not been doing something right. If she going straight from home, he must have not been doing something right. And that's bullshit. But people will say it. They always go to, he must have not been doing something right. No one defaults to the Bible. No one defaults to you're not a great mom. You're not a good mother. You're not a good worker. They don't default to none of that. If a woman fucks around on her man. Everyone would always default to that as something that the man in the relationship wasn't doing that prompted the woman to find these desires or to have these unquenched desires. But no one extends that grace to a man in the relationship to say, huh, he out here laying pipe. She must not be doing something. Something must have been done to make this man knock the lining off this pussy over here. Like it's like you sitting here like if MLK was on the road and had some slip ups, why are we talking about it? Matter of fact, why are we talking about it? Why am I talking about it? Let me stop talking about it already. I want to talk about something else. What do I want to talk about? Right after this break. I want to get back to tit for tat. And I guess what I should say is if you watch the Scarface movie, there was a scene in the Scarface movie that I love where Tony Montana says, say hello to the bad guy. And I'm like, I could be the bad guy sometimes because I don't mind telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Saying what I really feel about a situation. You know? Like, because I just get tired of the yapping and the running off at the mouth. But Tony Montana said,
"You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, what'll I make you? Good? You're not good. You just know how to hide.
that you're not good. You just know how to hide. Not good. Like I get tired of people trying to shame me specifically because people know how I think about things. But it's like, bro, I don't give a fuck. If that's what you want, I don't bother people. It's like, bro, if your shit is so cool, my nigga, go do that. I don't want it. I don't. So it's like the constant policing is just insane to me that you're gonna go after MLK now of all people. But let's go to the tit for tat. Let's go tit for tat. Trump's been on China's neck for some time, and China's been playing it patient. They've been keeping it low, but they ain't keeping it low no more. They are not keeping it low no more. What's the first thing? Not the first thing. Here's one thing. I'm gonna start with this one. This is simple. This is the second country, I think, in Africa to do this. Pull this up. So Ethiopia is converting its $10 billion of debt from the IMF into Chinese yuan and to receive a reverse loan from China. Meaning, I'm guessing what they're doing is they owe $10 billion, they're reconsolidating with a Chinese bank China's going to pay off the 10 billion, and then in turn they would probably get like a 20 billion or 15 billion dollar loan from China, so they have a little bit of liquidity, right? Which is if China coming like that right now, we're gonna have to start. We're gonna be shooting at people to make sure they don't fill out the application, because what that would mean is it would cut the legs up under the financial architecture that has been pinning in Western civilization for the past 600 years. What do you mean when you say that, G Chili? I ain't gonna go through all of it, like, because I try to say stuff. Hopefully, it sparks a curiosity in somebody's brain, and that person who brings the sparks of curiosity in, they want to go read, just for the sake of knowing. Like I said, I'm not here for the monetization. I don't need it. I don't want it. I'm not here to be a celebrity. I don't care. I am a professional. I'm a writer. I'm not a content creator, but I'll do some content. My next, I'm here. I'm just trying to share. I'm just trying to share information. Information from a real brother, good brother. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm a good brother. B. Simone would say I'm not. You fornicating ass nigga. Anyway. Anyway, I bet. Who hurt you, yo? Get over it. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. I'd give you a hug if I saw you. I bet. And so, let's go say it like this. Marco Polo went to China. Marco Polo, I think it was Marco Polo. Marco Polo went to China, and when he went to China, it was the first time he was exposed to paper money, currency. Before that time, the entirety of the world used some form of an inanimate object or natural occurring object for currency, like some type of a metal, some type of a shell, stuff like that. You collect seashells and you get this seashell type and that seashell type, or you get gold, you get silver, you get copper, that type of thing. That was currency for up until that point. And when Marco Polo saw paper currency, the idea, along with gunpowder and all of that other stuff that came from China, right? And the Mongols, the Mongolians, all of that was taken back. The paper currency concept, at least for sure, was taken back by Marco Polo. The Mongolians may have also introduced gunpowder independently of Marco Polo, but he also got like fireworks and stuff like that, I believe. But the point is, the paper currency changed the game. See, because China had the concept for money way back then. But what China didn't do was China was never an expansionist people. They never wanted to come and make you. China never wanted to come and make you take their money. So if China did business with someone outside of China, they just used the currency they use. Like, what you use? You use tree leaves? All right, I'll give you tree leaves, my nigga. Whatever you use. China just want to do business. But when the Europeans got a hold of that concept, because they always export forcefully at the barrel of a gun, their way of thinking. They said, aha. So they started to make their own money, their own currency. And I think London, England was the first place to make it a law where they said if anyone on this planet is doing business and they're not using our money, they're committing a crime against the king. So and I think I talked about this on the Mentality podcast one time, but that basically means like if you were alive at that time when they passed that law and you went to go buy some milk, that means you were automatically a criminal. And then you could automatically be subjugated to the violence of the English army, English, because that's what they were first starting to expand out and go around. So what does all of this mean? Ethiopia is getting off the dollar, getting the yuan. What it means is we've been forcing the rest of the world into Western-backed currencies. Then once they get sucked in debt to those currencies, we limit the access they have to the money. So it would be like, I give you my cousin gives you a job. You don't know that that's my cousin. You work that job for a few weeks, a couple months. Then you come to me to get some type of financial loan. They call it securities exchange. You come to me and say, "Hey, yo, G, yo, yeah, I got a job, doing good. Just want to restructure. Can I get a loan? I make $2,000 a week. I make $4,000 a week. Let's keep it normal. Let's say I make $1,000 a week. I make $4,000 a month. I only got about $1,000 in expenses. I got an idea that I want to move forward on, and I just need a $15,000 loan. I can pay it back in 4 months." And I say, "Don't worry about it. You got low overhead. Your debt to income ratio is strong. Sure, take that loan, and you don't even got to pay it back in 4 months. You could pay it back in 30. You could pay it back in a year. You could pay it back in 12 months. You give me $1,200 a month. Give me $1,200 a month. Give me $1,200 a month. You can easily do that. You can even pay in advance. No problem. Easy loan. Easy loan. And then as soon as you walk out the door after I give you the loan and you sign the paper and you put your stuff up as collateral, whatever that collateral might be, I call my cousin. I say, fire this nigga. ASAP Rocky. You show up to work tomorrow, pink slip at the door. Now you only 3-4 weeks in. I mean, you got $4,000. I just gave you $15,000 loan. You could come in that situation. You could come and say, I got to give you all of this back with the interest right now. There's no prepayment penalty. So actually, let me tell you this way. If it was $15,000 loan, you would probably have to take about 18 because, origination fees, all that type of shit. But you get the point. So you could come back and say, oh, man, bro, I got $3,000. He just gave me $15,000. I'm gonna have to go give him this whole 15 he just gave me, plus this 3 for the origination fee interest thing hit like that. So let's say you took out $18,000 loan, and you got, just to make it clean, you took an $18,000 loan, you got 15, you got to pay back 18 with interest. You got $3,000 in savings. So now you got to come and give me what you had in savings plus the 15 I gave you, just to be even. But you got a wife at home, you got kids, you got plans, you had the thing you was trying to start. They said, all right, I'm not going to do the thing I was trying to start. I'm going to just focus on the family. I'm going to make these payments. But you already know you ain't got no job. So all the money you got is dedicated to that loan. So then you make a choice. Do I make home suffer or do I make the loan suffer? So what a lot of countries have been doing at first was they was making home suffer just to keep paying the loan. So that's what kept the countries in perpetual poverty. Because I can't do nothing for my wife. I can't do nothing for my kids. I ain't got no job. All the money I got is literally owed to this loan. I make payments on it every month. I try to hustle with the little bit that's left, but every month that amount keeps decreasing. That was what the world was operating like until about 2017, when China first fully stepped into the financial space and started to backfill and provide additional low interest loans to developing nations. That's why America is so angry with China. Because America is like, yo, we raping these niggas. We are raping the planet. And Western civilization legitimately had the planet in a chokehold. And Obama noticed it in around 2009, 2010, and Obama said, we're going to have a pivot to Asia. That was the beginning of what we're dealing with now. And then Trump came in and he ramped it up. And then Biden came in and he ramped it up. And then Trump came back and he tried to go all the way until President Xi said, fuck around and find out, my nigga. Fuck around and find out. And the first fuck around and find out I told you was the Ethiopia. What's the second? I got hundreds of them. I'll be here all year if I talk about it. We're not in a good space, but we deserve it, so I don't care. Because people like to say shit like America was a benign superpower. I say, fuck out of here. We were ruthless. We were cutthroat. We are overseeing a genocide. America genocided everybody who lived in America, then brought Africans over here and made them work for free for 300 years, then segregated them for 100 years, then mass incarcerated them for the last 60 years. America is ruthless. Cutthroat. I survive, I strive, I thrive in America. Not because America is some benign nation that wants to see me succeed. It's because I'm ruthless. I can clearly see through the shit. It's like a killer knows a killer. Like, I know what I'm up against all the time. I know how to see right through the fog. I try to tell people. People can listen, they cannot listen. Hey, all I can do is tell people. That's it. But the bottom line is, what did China do? So then Trump was trying to fuck around with China. Trump told the Dutch they had to kick a Chinese company out their country and nationalize it, right? So I'll just put this one up. So what happened was there's this company in the Netherlands called Nexperia. The Dutch, Trump told them, we don't want you doing business with China. And that company that's over there in your country, get rid of it. So the Dutch said, sure, dog. Sure, big homie. And they went over there and told the Chinese dude who was in charge of the country, leave my country, we're taking this shit. China said, oh, really? Oh, really? China cut off all sales of everything that company needs from China. Immediately, that the country knew that company would go out of business. And then they said, "Oh man, can we talk?" So China showed them that they had some tit for that tat, and then everybody wanted to talk. Why you ain't want to talk before? Why do you always only want to talk when the guns come out? Like, why don't nobody want to talk before the guns come out? Like, bro, we could have talked. You could have talked to me before you kicked my homie out. You could have said, yo, bro, you know that nigga over there bugging. I'd have been like, yeah, you know what? I'll make it easy on you. All right, boom. We gonna leave. We gonna get out. Let me get my stuff. Let me pack my food up. We'll leave. You don't come over here and start grabbing chicken wings out my mouth, though. Like, come on, man. What's going on? You can do that with the little homies. China, like, yo, I'm not your little homie. Like, what did May say? We not your little homie. Don't little homie me. That's what China is basically saying. It's like, yo, F-O-F-A. F-A-F-O. Fucking around, find out. Yeah, man, it's getting crazy out here. But you gotta have tit for that tat. Another thing I saw that was interesting. Right? I think I'm gonna make that F-A-F-O picture the picture for the thumbnail. The other thing I saw that was interesting to me. Let me see how I can add this on this other laptop over here. Share window. I need to share a tab, right? No. Dang it. I got it. All right, bet. Let me add this to the screen. All right. So I thought this was interesting. So China, hide this button. So China is entering mass production of self-detecting quantum radar. So before we get out of here, let me read through some of this. So Chinese researchers claim to have begun mass producing a single photon detector, a core component for quantum radar systems that could theoretically detect stealth aircraft. The device, developed at the Quantum Information Engineering Technology Research Center in Anhui Province, is described as an ultra-low noise 4-channel, maybe that's Anhui Province, is described as an ultra-low noise 4-channel detector capable of isolating individual photons and resistant to electronic warfare interference. Defense experts caution that without live validated trials demonstrating consistent detection under real-world conditions, China's assertions of neutralizing American stealth technology remains speculative. Right. So they always say that's the last statement. Like, since I've been alive following China's development, everything China says is doing, you get 1,000 or more people from outside of the world saying, oh, it's just speculative. It's just speculative. You'd be like, yo, my nigga, they doing it, bro. They doing it. You're going to be mad when you see it, but they're doing it. So you got to figure it out. And the reason that this is important before I go into the article is, let me take this off the screen for a second. In my opinion, the reason this is important before I go into the article, this is a big tit for the tat that we keep doing to them. Like, America is literally threatening China with war since 1980. We entered into an agreement with them in 1979, and we've been violating that agreement every day. It's not a day that don't go by we're not violating that agreement. What do you mean? America agreed to normalize relations with China instead of maintaining relations with the deposed Chinese authority that fled from the mainland to the territory of China, which was an island of Taiwan, to install military rule. And when they fled from the mainland after losing the military war on the land, they took 2 million soldiers with them and made them military police. And when the Chinese tried to pursue them, the American Navy blocked them off. So China said, you know what, we're not strong enough to fight right now. The American Navy, we only got we won't be able to make that 50, 100-mile journey across the water. I bet, my nigga, we wait. We'll wait, but I'll catch you when you come outside, though. That was originally the mindset. And they went about their business for a few years, getting their stuff together. And when the Chinese went about their business getting their stuff together on the mainland, America was pouring money and weapons into the island. But not only was America pouring money and weapons into the island, America put harsh sanctions on China proper, the mainland. And America, that's one of the things that led to the famine that people always talk about in China. The Chinese couldn't get a lot of stuff they needed from other countries, not even America. No one would really give the Chinese what they needed, so they had to really get it out the mud. And so what happened was when, if I get any of this wrong, essentially what happened was we normalized relations with them. And we said, we're going to recognize you as the authority of China, including Taiwan. When I say you, I'm talking about the government of the mainland. And what happened was we've been violating that ever since that came into place. We've been continuously upping the ante to kind of create civil dissent within Taiwan. So I'm not going to go too much into Taiwan right now, but that leads to why we have this that the Chinese were working on, which is the quantum detection. Because America's strength is one of our strengths is the stealth technology of our planes. And if the Chinese deploy mass produce detections that can basically render stealth non-viable, that means that the defense industry that has poured trillions of dollars into this stuff, this technology, it's money you can't recoup. You still have to sell this stuff, but people are going to be buying. If my enemy buys a quantum radar, why would I come to you to buy a stealth plane? I got to figure something else out. And this is all while we're sitting here talking about we want to get ready to go to war with China by 2027. They said, oh, really, my nigga? 2027? Let me start mass producing this right now. 2027? That's what you want? All right. Thanks for letting me know. Because I was going to go on vacation. But now that I know that you're planning to break in my house, thank you for telling me you're going to break in my house. Because I was going to go on vacation. But I think I might hang out for a little bit. But you know who's not going to hang out for a little bit longer? Me. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and wrap this up. And like I said, you don't got to agree with my views. You don't got to like them. You ain't got to watch. You should watch. I think you'll learn something. You might change your views. Let me know if you do. All right, I'm out of here.
Real niggas stand up, we handle business. Keep it real up to tell you on the real is. Little bit mad, man, key, tight shit. 12 outside my house, cause I'm rich. Nigga been getting sprayed, they know how we playin'. Got out Halloween, but I'm no demon, baby. Niggas rats, I'm a bad father cause I raised them. Cause I made them, yeah. I got real love in my face. Peace send blessings on my face. Let my love spread, this ain't no fake. Blaming Jesus off of my face. My real brothers contribute to my pain. I'm putting legs up every single day. I've been coping, spending every day. I've been decent, living out of space. I came from nothing, now we made it to the top. New Rose Rest, with icing on the rocks, yeah. You a boss, just flex, you can do it. The next time I see you, we can do it. You say that you love me, then prove it. Yeah, the road respect from gotta charge. Keep it presidential, just like your wives. I can see you love me when I look into your eyes. You popping out with me on a Thursday. Bought you a house, it ain't in your birthday. I'm trying to do your pussy the worst way. Come on, baby. She said she hear a nigga crying. How the fuck you hear tears? I went on but I was lying. I've been pushing this shit for years. Baby, I'm sorry.